Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer 55551, and I am back with a review slash thought video, and to some degree you could consider it a retro review or something, as I take a look at HBO or Spawn, which is currently on Max, formerly known as HBO Max, formerly known as Max and all, and for formerly known as HBO. And for parents out there, it's worth pointing out that HBO Spawn is rated TVMA here in the USA and all. Spawn is an interesting comic book character, though. Sort of separate between what you would see with the Marvel and the DC comic book characters over the years. But in terms of media and everything like that, the only ones I could think of outside the comics that I remember, though, is the infamous 1997 live-action Spawn movie, which I would say, looking back at it now, has its charm. Some hate it, but some like it and everything like that. So it's looking at it now, it's sort of mixed though. But I do remember seeing it in the theaters though, and I do believe that there was an R-rated director's cut, to be exact. And of course, there have been video game adaptations of Spawn, which have gotten mixed response or wasn't considered that great. Although I will say 2003's Spawn Armageddon that was released on the PS2, GameCube, and the original Xbox, I will say that one is probably the best Spawn video game out there, at least in my book though. It's not perfect, but it definitely is the best one. It does take a bit of a page out of the Devil May Cry series to some extent though, but at least I think out of all the Spawn video games, that one is probably the best one. And of course, Spawn also made an appearance in the 2003 release of Soul Calibur 2, but this was only on the Xbox version, where the GameCube version had Link in it, and the PS2 version had, I think, one of the Tekken characters. I think it was Tekken Heihachi, or I don't know which character it is, but it was certainly one of the Tekken characters and all. But as far as, a cartoon or something like that, it really kind of passed by me, and I never really paid attention to it until years later when I started to see clips of it on YouTube of the Todd McFarlane's Spawn or HBO's Spawn and all. So I decided to give this show a watch and watch, all 3 seasons of it, though. I believe there are about 18 episodes. And I will say, I do feel a little disappointed that this one kind of passed me by, because I really did enjoy it, though. I thought it was a really neat show and everything like that, though. And I can see why it certainly has a fan favorite and why it appeals to a lot of folks. But also, some could argue that it was kind of ahead of its time. Same with the 1997 Spawn movie as well. So I'm going to break this down into what I like and what I didn't like, mixed or not 100% sure about. In terms of what I like, I will say Keith David does a really good job voicing Al Simmons, Spawn, to be exact. I think that it fits that character very well, though. I've seen Keith David done many things, whether it's on TV shows, to certain movies, to voicing other characters as well. I believe he was voiced the main character for the animated Gargoyle series. I remember watching that as a kid and everything. And of course, I think Sergeant Foley in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, not the remake video game, but the one back during the PS3 and 360 era though. But in either case, I do think that he's done a really good job voicing the character. It just fits that tone very well and everything. I also do like, and this is the next thing, I like the interaction between 2 of the other characters that I've also enjoyed in the Spawn series though. Sam Burke, if I'm saying his name correctly, and Twitch Williams though. They're both, in a way, they're kind of like buddy cops to a certain extent though. Sam feels more like he's definitely has a certain attitude and everything like that, and Twitch seems to be the kind of person who's, let's just say, a little bit more reasonable and everything like that, but their interaction with each other and their friendship is really, really neat. I like those 2 characters and everything. It is unfortunate we never saw them in the 1997 movie and all, but still, I definitely enjoy those characters. And I will say to some extent, Sam Burke, if I'm saying the character's name correctly, kind of reminds me, or the person who voiced it, almost kind of reminds me of the Detective Bullock character from the Batman, the animated series I remember watching as a kid back in the days and all. But in either case, I definitely like the interaction with these two characters and all. And last but not least, I will say, given the type of character Spawn is, I definitely like that the fact that the show has sort of a dark tone and adult theme to it indeed, though. Some might argue this might have been ahead of its time, and that may be true, but I think it was definitely a perfect fit for a show like this, though, ranging from, Spawn struggling of trying to find some way to get his humanity back to a certain extent, though, to basically his interaction with other characters, especially in like the alleyway and everything like that, from some of the homeless folks to other folks as well. So basically, the tone itself is really neat, and I definitely like the dark tone that they added to the show and all. As far as what I didn't like or mixed or not 100% sure about, this one, I would say both of these are kind of minor, at least in my view, though. The season 1 opening basically had an interesting music with basically Todd McFarlane, drawing his Spawn characters and sort of giving an intro about certain things and all that stuff. I thought the season 1 openings were better than compared to what I thought about the openings for season 2 and 3, which is him being in this basement of a mansion, looking at stuff here and there and all. I mean, it's not terrible or anything like that. It's not awful. I just prefer the opening with season 1 with him, in his suit, Todd McFarlane in his suit, drawing the Spawn character and all. And last but not least, though, I am a little disappointed we never got a season 4 or anything like that. That is very unfortunate indeed, though, because the way season 3 ended, or the series finale, I did feel like it could have set the stage up for season 4 and maybe beyond, and I would have really liked to have seen that happen and all. Obviously, it's unfortunate, and I guess we'll never. It's unfortunate that that will never happen and everything like that. I mean, there's always fan fiction or archive on our own if you want to create your own way of how season 4 should play out, though. But it is a little bit unfortunate we never got a season 4. That is, in my view, sort of a disappointment. Overall, I would say I did come away pleased watching HBO's Spawn and all. I definitely the art style to the show obviously is very 90s or late 90s to be exact, though. But I definitely like the show itself, though. And I kind of wish I watched the show earlier on when it originally came out and everything. At its best, though, the voice acting's good. I thought Kevin David did a great job voicing Al Simmons and Spawn. I do like the interaction between Sam and Twitch, though. I think those two, along with Spawn, are my favorite characters. And I definitely like the dark tone to the show. But at its worst, though, the opening, again, nothing against Todd McFarlane or anything like that. I just like the way the opening for season 1 was done than it was for season 2 and 3. And I will admit, it is a little bit unfortunate we never got a season 4 and all. That would have been great to see a season 4 of HBO Spawn, or even another season as well. But in either case, though, I did enjoy the show, though. If you're like a Spawn fan and you never got to watch it, though, and you have like Max or something, consider taking a look at this series, though. I think it's good. I definitely it definitely has a bit of a 90s or late 90s vibe to it, but it's still enjoyable nevertheless, though. It will be very interesting to see down the road if we do get another Spawn series of any type, though. We've heard rumors of a reboot of the Spawn movie and certain thing like that, though. Whether that ever sees the light of day, that remains to be seen. But in either case, though, if you have Max or at least anything that shows, HBO shows, give Spawn a try, though. I definitely, even though I may not be the biggest Spawn fan out there, I still enjoyed the show nevertheless. Okay, this concludes my review/thought on HBO's Spawn. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about HBO's Spawn? Have you ever watched the show before in the past? Do you think it's a good, faithful adaptation of the Spawn comic books in any way, though? Do you think like the movie, the 1997 movie, was better and all? Were you disappointed that they ended with season 3 and didn't do like a season 4 or anything like that? Are there any other characters other than Spawn that you may have liked if in the HBO Spawn series? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notification of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to. And feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal Me or Patreon or Steam Labs. Links will be in the description of this video, assuming you're watching this on YouTube or Patreon. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!